So the next use case is onboarding. Whether you're onboarding actual employees or visual special effects supervisors or freelancers, it seems like it's also done in the same pattern back to back. And so the idea of machine learning is that you're going to be able to use the same pattern over and over again. I think, Jim, you've onboarded probably more people. Can you talk to us about the difficulties of that?
A lot of people. I mean, well, if you guys have, most people in here have probably onboarded crews before, so you know that it's very repetitive behavior, and that's usually left to somebody who makes mistakes. Not that people that work aren't doing a great job, but the human error is always, and data entry and human error go hand in hand. So something like this helps alleviate those mistakes, especially if it's, as we all know, crews like to work with each other over and over again. So there's like almost a database created already if you're using the same crew or the same director or the same DP or any HOD. Like if you're using that person again, chances are a lot of those names of people's information are going to be in there. It's a lot easier to change a couple fields than it is to enter all those fields again.
Yeah. And so the tools that are pretty much out there available for you guys are provided by either Google, Microsoft, or IBM. And so, for example, Microsoft has a system where if you use Microsoft, it will recognize all of the words in the contract, which sounds like it's basic, but it's actually really helpful because you can type in, for example, cruise, and anything that has to do with a cruise will come up, but it will come up in the pattern that you're using. For example, if you have like 4 different approval systems, it will actually help you just create a better system where whether you're doing it or not, that approval system is happening on a regular basis.
And to rewind from that too, that's why it's important. And I try to tell everybody that I work with, just because of my exciting experience in data management. Don't get too tingly, but save your data somewhere that's not your email inbox. Try to there's all these tools now that to help you save important data other places that end up being able to be indexed and used for searches and archived, because as we all know, we live and die by email. I mean, that's where everything happens. That's everybody's accountability is in an email these days. So that information is important.
And I think also looking back, when you have large data set of certain crew, and then you can run later on, maybe 10 years on, you can run analysis on who actually worked for us, who didn't, and it really drives insights later on.
You send out after show surveys of who liked who. I'm just kidding. Good analytics.
You could literally, you could do that. The thing about email too that not that I want to bring up something from the past, but in 2014 when Sony had their really, really big hack, the content was hacked, but what was really, really, really damaging was actually the content in the emails. The conversations that were happening in the emails. So just imagine if those conversations were taken out of that and put into a platform like Box, for example, where you had context with your content. And so, we're all encouraging you guys, because you're all working on different projects, to create your own library of content.
Yes.
And that's not just images. That's all the conversation. That's all of the different type of situations that you're going through. And hopefully, the whole point of this is to help you go to market faster.
Yeah, and also just it's a way to CYA, because the less people have, the less access people have to your data, the better, right? I mean, we've all learned that over the last couple of years.
We're still learning it.
Yeah, but it's the truth, and the more organized your data is, the less of a chance there is for people to A, access it, and B, breach it.
Yeah.